You are now tuned in to the New Old Heads podcast, brought to you by BringingDownTheBand.com, No Bad Ideas, and Coleman Dental. I am Major 7th. I make beats and I have the t-shirts to prove it. And to my left, as always, rocking that new fresh Printfinity joint is the one and only Longevity.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm swell.
I like how you pull the mic close to you when you talk. That's what's up.
That's what I do.
We see you.
See, I switched it up.
He's swell.
Now you starting to go into the mic. I see you.
Yeah, I need some t-shirts
Oh.
so people know that I make beats.
Oh.
Because that's the only way that people will know that I make beats.
Do you have to lean in when you say that?
I could pull it towards me. If
Okay.
That makes you feel better.
We're going to pause on that one and go to my man, DJ J Diff. How are you, sir?
Salutations. I'm good, man.
I see two Printfinity shirts over there on the right, on my left. I
Well,
see y'all.
You're missing. Where's your Major 7 shirt at? Though?
You know, brothers got laundry out here in these streets. I do laundry and I make beats. So
Yeah.
I got
just
you
didn't
next
do
week,
the
though.
laundry this past week.
Yeah, you know, I rock the Major 7 joints like a uniform. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I rock one next week though.
I can
I
dig
appreciate you looking out for me.
Okay.
It's all about marketing.
Yes,
to my
indeed.
right, sitting in for DJ Spoolz, Mr. Wavy Light Skinned Girls Be Loving Me Now.
Stop that.
Mr. Indianapolis himself, the one and only Jay Moore, pinch hitting as always for us. What's going on, my brother?
Not too much, man. I'm just glad to be here once again.
Yes, sir.
It's always my honor to sit in with you guys, and because, like I said, I'm not just pitch hitting. I'm a fan. So,
Well, you know, you a fan as well as family, brother. So we appreciate you stepping in, being on the squad as always. This is episode number 33 for the New Old Heads podcast. Now, in my opinion, we should christen this episode the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar episode.
okay.
We did have some beef prior to going on, so I'm going to start here with Longevity. What should we call this episode?
I mean, you see the shirt.
I do see the shirt.
I'm from Indiana.
You're from Indiana.
Who's the greatest basketball player? One, possibly, arguably, from Indiana?
Larry Bird.
The legend, perhaps?
Yes.
Well, he was 33.
He's not better than Kareem. Jay Moore.
Wasn't it Larry Bird's fault that we traded away Kawhi Leonard? Oh yeah, I hate to bring that up.
That's 0 for 2 for Larry.
Yeah.
I know.
He did pretty decent in Boston, though.
He
He did.
he played well in Boston.
He played well
certainly
for the
did.
Sycamores as well.
Jay
Yeah.
Diff, are you in agreement with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Well,
Don't do this, man.
I have to because this kind of goes back to the Reggie Miller episode.
Oh,
you know.
not that
Let's
one.
not get that started.
I'm
Not
just
that
saying, man.
I thought that was going to be the end of the New Old Heads when I heard that.
Not that one. We got Spoolz throwing stuff across the room.
Man.
He was
Now
lit.
that was before that episode.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'm still.
Yeah,
I'm
Spoolz
still.
was actually throwing stuff last episode.
I was taken aback by Spoolz throwing stuff. So
after
I
I
apologize.
threw the table.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But
I'm
like
sorry.
as you can see his shirt, you know,
Yes.
I'm loyal to the soil, man.
Okay.
So
Talk to me.
as a player, I like Kareem more,
Okay.
but as a Indiana resident my whole life, I would probably have to ride with Larry Legend, man.
Okay.
What player has leads all NBA players in the history of the NBA
You just
in
told
points
me this.
scored?
Kareem
Kareem.
Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
So
Greg Oden.
Oh my God. It always
I
takes
want to
one.
talk about trolling.
It always takes one person to just kind of take
Hey,
the
shout out
air.
to Greg Oden. He's going
Yeah.
back to school.
We see
Shout
you,
out
Greg
to him.
Oden.
Shouts to Indianapolis.
Yeah, shout
Great
out to,
player and
shout out to them knees.
great player at Lawrence North. He was a beast. Went on to do great things at Ohio State. He had a stint in the league, you know, but injury. So,
hey, KD just got a title though.
oh my God, we're gonna
That's
go right
messed
into
up.
that. Huh?
All right, we can talk about that.
All right. So, as we all know, I'm a Cleveland Cavalier fan, LeBron James fan, but we pretty much just got beasted by Mr. Durant, Mr. Thompson, Mr. Curry, Mr. Green, Mr. Livingston, Mr.
West.
Iguodala, Mr. West. Shout out to David West. We see you out there being a goon.
Is that
Kissing
what that
people.
was?
He is
lot,
kissing.
Lot of people say he faking. I personally think he about that action.
I think he about that action too, but that was a little
He
extra.
trains for like karate or something like that.
It's a
I don't
little
know,
extra.
but I think he about that
He
action.
trains for karate.
I got a nephew that trains for karate too.
You know what I mean, man. We not gonna do this week, bro. I'm
his
not,
orange
I'm not
belt.
gonna let him troll me this week. It's not gonna happen. Bottom line, KD got his ring. The big move worked. Is it validation? Is this move validated by him winning the Finals MVP? I'm gonna go to Jay Moore first. Is this validated with him being the Finals MVP and them winning the championship?
I had to
over
run
Bron?
a hot take right before the NBA Finals started. I said,
Okay.
if Kevin Durant does not win Finals MVP, he doesn't even deserve a ring.
Wow.
No, I honestly believe that because you go to a team that wins 73 games the season before and was, a good 5 minutes and a few turnovers from winning the championship last year.
Talk that talk.
Because I honestly felt like this team as constructed would have been in the NBA Finals without him. Would they have won? I don't know. But I will say, since he won the MVP, he was clearly the best player. Like, he was unstoppable.
He was.
There were times where I was like, you just couldn't defend him out past that 3-point line.
He's 7 feet
a
tall,
7-foot tall guard who can shoot the three. And it wasn't just like they were knocking in. His J was wet. It was ridiculous. I don't think I'd seen him play that good the rest of the season.
He's special. He's special.
But at the same time, to me, even though he didn't win another ring, this solidified LeBron James' legacy to me as being one of the greats.
Absolutely.
With his performance.
People always want to blame everything on LeBron. Jordan didn't do this. Kareem didn't do this. Magic didn't do this. Bird didn't do this. Kobe, Shaq, whoever you want to talk about, nobody averaged a triple-double in the NBA Finals. And considering how many people on his team were missing open shots, for him to still average 10 assists a game, that was incredible. So, just like everybody in this room, like I said, we're the new old heads. So we came up in the era of Jordan.
Yes.
And so we don't want to give LeBron his due.
Yes.
Because we feel like we still pray at the altar of Michael Jordan's, a lot of us.
Yes.
And a lot of people listening, and we just don't want to give LeBron his props. I'm sorry, even though he didn't win and he doesn't have another ring, to me, you can't take anything away from this guy because he leaves it on the floor. There's nothing more he could have done.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, here's what because somebody said something to him about super teams, and he said he's never played for a super team. And I know a lot of people are like, "What are you talking about?" I said, I completely agree, because when he came back to Cleveland, when that time he was gone from Cleveland, 4 of the worst seasons in NBA history for a franchise.
I believe they had 3 number 1 draft picks. They had Andrew Wiggins, Anthony Bennett, and
Kyrie,
and Andrew Wiggins. Did I say Andrew Wiggins?
Yeah, you said that.
Who am I missing? Anthony Bennett, Andrew Wiggins, Kyrie Irving, and
Tristan
Thompson was one of the top picks in the draft. So to piggyback off his point, I think the Jordan worshipers in the Jordan congregation, where they get me misconstrued is they think that I say LeBron is better than Michael Jordan simply by comparing him to Michael Jordan. Those are 2 different things. I personally think Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. Cumulative resume, what he did for the game, dominance, closing. I get it. I'm not stupid. I grew up in that era. But anytime you say anything positive about LeBron James in relation to Michael, when you want to compare the two, it's like, oh, well, you can't even compare him. A dude that averages a triple-double and shoots 56% from the field in the finals is comparable to Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
So
it just gets to a point where you have to acknowledge greatness when you see it.
You have to acknowledge it.
I couldn't, for whatever I thought about Kevin Durant's move last summer, I have to acknowledge greatness when I see it, and that was truly greatness.
The boy balled out.
Like, he got on the biggest stage there was.
Yeah.
And, now it does say something I feel about Steph Curry. Because here's a dude with 2 MVPs in the regular season, but has got outshined on what's supposed to be his team twice in the NBA Finals.
J. Diff, let me go to you on Curry. Now, does that tarnish? I don't want to say tarnish. Let me take that back. Does that change how you look at him with him winning 2 league MVPs, 1 being unanimous, and he's yet to be the Finals MVP on his own team with 2 rings? Are we talking? Is he still I never think he was a peer with LeBron because they're just 2 different level of players. But
he's not there yet, and a lot of people like to give Curry more than what I think he deserves. And he's a great player. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
But Curry is not on the same level as LeBron James. He doesn't do the same thing. I remember when LeBron first went to the finals.
Yeah.
When the Cavs were trash.
Yeah.
And watching him play those games.
Yeah.
Like, he had no help.
Yeah,
literally no help.
He was alone.
The best player on his team was Larry Hughes.
Yeah.
We see Larry Hughes with the Braves.
Definitely. So, Curry's always had a nice team with him. That was built by Mark Jackson.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mark Jackson built that team up to what it is. They've added pieces here and there
Yep.
since, but when Steve Kerr took on that team, they were already good. So they went to the finals 3 years in a row themselves.
They did.
They've won 2.
They have.
They have a great team. Curry's great.
Their core is all under 30.
They got 4 snipers.
4.
And we talked about this last week.
Yeah.
They didn't need Durant.
That's why I said if he didn't win Finals MVP, he didn't deserve a ring.
Yeah.
We give Durant props for taking the situation into his own hands and
But that's
balling
where
out.
it stops.
I see you over there, Lone. You say that's where is that where it stops for you?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
that's cool. He won.
Yeah.
He played well.
Yeah. That's
It was
it.
it was a whack move at the end of the day to me.
It was, but at the same time, the whack move to me was the fact that Golden State even pursued him. Mm-hmm. Because
That might be even whacker than KD
That's
going
whacker than him going there.
Yeah.
Is it
Because I think that because here you have a team that won 73 games, and honestly, if Steph didn't have such a horrible, Steph was horrible in Game 7 last year. He was throwing the ball out of bounds and whatnot. Here's a team that was already built to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Right.
Yep.
And they just didn't do it. To me, I mean, they were able to do the salary cap. They did it. They did it within the rules of what the NBA is. But
Yes.
honestly, I think that was a weak move on a general manager organization. I'm not mad. I'm less mad at Kevin Durant because he's like, look, this is his 10th year in the league.
Yep.
And it's going to just like they started, because they had to get on LeBron. They're like,
Yep.
look, you've been in the league this long. You're supposed to be that guy.
Yep.
Where's your ring at? And, KD, even though I feel like if he'd have played this well in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals last year,
Exactly.
They were up 3-1.
Don't
But-
get me started on that.
but
because,
that's neither here nor there.
Don't get
But
me
I'm
started
just
on that.
saying,
Yeah, those are facts.
that player along with Kevin Durant, and had they kept a couple of other pieces, that team would have been good enough. That team was good enough last year to beat the Golden State Warriors.
Well, this year they were completely undeniable, though.
Yeah.
Across the board.
If I'm a GM and I play NBA 2K, I'm going out for the best players.
Yeah.
So if Kevin Durant is willing to come, I'm bringing him because to me he's an upgrade to Harrison Barnes.
Well, that's
Upgrade.
I mean,
That's not
definitely,
even.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
not even up for
Yeah.
debate.
But Harrison Barnes fit on the team well though.
He
You know what
did.
I'm? You know what I mean?
Harrison Barnes
So-
worked out just fine. He was
got his
good enough
paper.
he was good enough for them to
He
win
did get his
73
paper.
games in
Definitely.
the regular season.
But you talk about Durant and then the GM. You got to take it a step further. It goes all the way up to the NBA if you're going to go that far, perhaps.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day,
Or do you just let people go everywhere? Just take the salary cap
I mean,
off?
they used to not do
No,
like
I
that.
mean
Remember
because
when they
the
did
salary
that?
cap is 20 the Golden State salary is like 20 million less than what Cleveland's is.
Right.
they're under the cap because Steph Curry is still on a deal.
Yep.
He hadn't re-up. He's still on the deal before he turned into Steph Curry.
Curry, yeah.
So when he re-ups this time, he's getting 200
he's
plus.
about to be the $200 million
yeah.
man.
So he and KD are both about to take the majority of that salary cap.
and everybody can't stay.
So,
Nah.
I think Clay's gonna try to go out on his own and average 26 somewhere else. That's just me now.
You think gonna pull a Harden?
He can pull a hard.
Yeah, but he got 2 rings, so you can go out and go somewhere to get them personal numbers up. And
He can do
personally
that.
Become a Hall of Famer, and nobody can take those rings away.
He can
That's
do
true.
that, and he
That's
was a
true.
major contributor on those
Yeah.
teams. So shout out to the Warriors. I have nothing to say. I can't hate on them. It is what it is. They are the champions.
Also, too though, Curry, he's a likable character.
Mm-hmm.
You can't deny that. That's part of the appeal as to why people always say, "Well, Curry this, Curry that." Curry is wet behind the line.
Oh yeah.
He can play the floor. He can get that layup that he does all the time.
Yeah.
But he's still not a LeBron James.
Well, they package him that way. He's got the family. His daughter was at the press conference. So I get it. I understand where that comes from. But in terms of a comparison of players, they're not quite in the same class yet. But like I said, shout out to the Warriors.
I don't think they can be in the same class.
He's got a lot of work to do before they can even remotely be peers in terms of basketball players.
Certainly not.
But it is what it is, man. They're the champs, and we got some adjustments to make in Cleveland. But moving on, Lone and I were talking about this past weekend with Bill Maher and Cube. I know we touched on it lightly last week, but I did not realize that Dr. Dyson, Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, came in, who used to visit my branch in D.C. I got to stunt real quick. I got a chance to talk to him.
Talk that talk.
You know what I'm saying? Dick Gregory, that's my guy. They used to come into my branch when I was working in D.C., so I got to meet these brothers, and I was honored to be able to talk to them. But he went on Bill Maher, and to Lone's point, Bill Maher, in terms of his reaction to
Right.
people talking to him about what he did,
Right.
kind of rubbed you the wrong way. I know
Yeah.
we talked about Cube's points, and we also talked about, Dr. Dyson. So kind of jump in on that in terms of what you thought or how you thought he should have reacted as opposed to how he actually reacted when he was confronted.
I feel like you're sitting at this table on your own show, mind you, with the crowd on the teleprompter with the button and all that stuff.
Right.
And you have somebody like Michael Eric Dyson sitting across from you. It's a great time to sit and listen and to not interject and try to continually. I understand that he felt probably like he needed to defend his character.
Right.
But it would have not rubbed me as wrong if he would have stopped trying to defend himself and just acknowledged what he did and what he said and the ramifications of all that. MED would say something and then he would come back with some sort of rebuttal. Like, I feel like I need to say something. When realistically, he just should have just been quiet and acknowledged it. And then I think that would have been, it wouldn't have rubbed me as wrong. But I kept watching. I was just like, why are you still talking? I don't know. That's just me though.
Let me go to J Diff. In the context of what we're talking about in terms of Bill Maher and Dr. Dyson, do you think he is leaning on and I'm coming to you right after this,
No
Jay
doubt.
Moore. Do you think he's leaning on his comedic card for someone to be able to say, oh, well, he's just a comedian, so
Definitely, yeah.
we got to let that slide because he gets paid to make jokes. You remember
I think
when
it's
he
a
said,
cop-out, though.
But when he
Yeah.
said, that's my point. When he said it, oh, it's just a joke. It was nonchalant. So, Diff, do you think he's trying to use it as a crutch or a cop out, as Lone said, instead of just manning up to
Yeah, I mean,
own up to what he did?
at the end of the day, that's exactly what he's doing. I didn't see the one when he was talking to Michael Eric Dyson. I did see the Ice Cube interview.
Yeah, yep.
At the end of the Ice Cube interview,
Like, cut it off.
he was like kind of like trying to, well, the people already know this. And,
Right.
And Cube was like, well, they ain't heard it from me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Cube
So
went in.
it's like, if you've done something like that, like we kind of touched on it last week, like you said, and we touched on how one would react if that
Right.
were to happen to them.
Right.
I think the way that Cube approached him was very professional.
Yep.
And like he said, he's kind of rubbing it off like, oh, well, I'm a comedian,
Right.
And Cube was like, you made a bad decision, and I'm tired of people making this bad decision. It's not your word to say anymore.
This is a teachable moment.
This is
Right.
a teachable moment.
Take it, move on. Don't try to deflect it.
Just accept it.
You know what I'm saying?
Stop deferring it.
I rock with that.
Deferment king.
That's what they call me. We're not gonna go down that road. Jay Moore, in terms of him with his crutch, how do you feel about that? Is that where we are with this? And he needs to just be quiet, like Lone said. And
No,
have
I think
accountability?
Long and it's kind of a crazy thing when we do talk about race on this show,
Right.
And there's just certain things we need to acknowledge where everyone talks about these teachable moments, and I'm like, when are y'all just gonna learn?
Right.
Like, the thing is, like, especially the way we all move, where we're in this game, if you will, called hip hop, and there's so many of us that we move with people of different races, different ideas, different just mindsets, but at the same time, like, there are a lot of white dudes who we roll with,
Right.
who are cool enough to where they might even think they're down enough to where they would say it, and we wouldn't even trip on them. But because they have an actual understanding of the culture,
Right.
and they understand who we are as people, they wouldn't even take that pass. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
And I think also what Bill Maher, what he was used to, and this happens a lot whenever someone gets caught up in a situation like this, is white people are used to their apologies just being accepted immediately,
Agreed.
and no one calls them to the carpet for the things they might have said wrong. And there's not really this come to Jesus moment where, like, no, we're going to talk to you about this. We're not just going to let this go.
Accountability.
Because there's been just a history of, like, sometime, there was this incident that happened here in Indiana, or Indianapolis, if you will, where, with a kid and a Colts cheerleader, you can look that up.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like, it was an automatic situation where the kid was forgiven by for what he said. I've been like, no, he didn't learn anything.
Right.
The only reason he said I'm sorry
Because he got caught.
is because he got caught. He thought it was something funny to put up on Snapchat or Instagram or whatever. And then, like, when it's this PR thing, he wants to give her a hug. And it's like, that's how he probably still feels about you.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So there was he didn't learn anything, because there has been, unfortunately, when you're talking about the dynamic of racism in America, where black people are always in a situation where we always have to forgive white people, because white people can always say, I didn't know, or that, I wasn't thinking that, but it came out wrong.
We weren't aware. We didn't know you guys felt that way.
And I, and as somebody who, and the thing is, I'll say this as somebody who's actually a fan of Bill Maher.
Right.
I've watched this guy since Politically Incorrect, a show he had on ABC. They got taken off because of some other things that he said having nothing to do with race, where he just kept it a little bit too real, or, a little bit too close to 9/11. Here's a guy, a white guy who's made a case for reparations on his show. Here's a guy who I thought was going to get taken off of HBO last year based off of some of the things he was saying about police brutality.
Right.
And how, he doesn't think, he actually said, I don't think it's right that people have had violent attitudes toward the police, but I understand. He, because he understands, look, if black people can't get justice in these courtrooms, then where else do you think where do you think they're going to get it? Some people are going to be unhinged by this, and they're going to. So I thought after that Dallas thing, I thought he was going to be done with.
Right.
But so I don't, when everybody wants to put the racist label on him, I was like, hey, slow down on that. But at the same time, slow down on just accepting his apology as well, because there are some things that we got to really talk about here. Don't get that familiar. Don't feel that comfortable. Because, some of the things you do, and just because you said some things on our behalf doesn't, you can't make those kind of jokes. And that's not, especially as being a comedian, and he's a smart comedian. I was like, that was so beneath him to take the easiest, like as just somebody who understands comedy a little bit. I was disappointed on that end, because I'm like, this is just bad comedy.
Right.
Regardless of, how you might feel about the whole race thing. So, like I said, I didn't think he should have been taken off the air. I remember Chance the Rapper said something about his show needs to be canceled. Like, that's not it. And, part of the problem is, well, not so much the problem is, of course, he's known as someone who goes in on conservatives. But, like, the thing is, sometimes he lets liberals have it. In fact, a lot of times he lets liberals have it. So they feel like, oh, well, he's not really on our side. I'm like, no, he's just as critical of the foolishness he sees on both sides. And so, like, that's where, when he sees certain things go down, where, like, I feel like there are people who didn't want to defend him. But I'm not here to defend him, because, like I said, when you have Michael Eric Dyson, is someone as learned and who has done as much research on the topic of race in America as that, you need to just sit and listen, acknowledge what you did wrong, and just, like, there's sometimes just don't apologize. Acknowledge what you did wrong and understand it.
That's the key, though. That's the key. The key is just Spoolz. That's Spoolz. He says that a lot. Team accountability. Like, at some point, as a grown man, as a professional, Bill Maher's not stupid. He's over 60 years old, give or take. So he's smart enough, to his point, to know what he's doing before he says something. He's also smart enough to know how to have accountability for what he said. So sometimes you just have to own up. We all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's infallible. Like, we all make mistakes. So just own up to your mistake. Don't try to overtalk Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, who's on your show. We know where he comes from. We know his pedigree.
Right.
Just eat that, call it a day, and move on. Nobody's trying to condemn him or his show, but at some point, like Killer Mike said, I'd have punched him in his stomach, and then we'd have had a beer or whatever afterwards. Right? Like, just be accountable for your actions and keep it moving. It's a teaching point, and it's a learning point, but you have to actually be willing to learn. You have to be willing to learn.
It's an interesting path as a white person too. We talked about Dear White People last week. Remember the scene on there where it was outside of a rally? Kind of forgot what I was going with that. I just pulled.
That's what it is when it's live. That's what it is when it's live.
It's live though. This is not taped. This is
live. But he said something. Yeah, I don't remember what
tape, no tape delay. We doing this live.
I had
it.
I had a great point
comes
there.
Back to you, you know what it is.
Yeah, but essentially it was a learning moment.
Right.
So even though Bill Maher is this guy
Right.
that stands up for all these things. He still had a moment like that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I know. I know
Realistically,
exactly
I
where
just
you're
wanted
going.
to bring up Dear White People because somebody still hasn't watched it. That's all.
Moving on.
The Ferment King.
Hey, man, moving on. No, we don't want to be negative on this episode for once, maybe.
That's not negative.
It is.
Is it?
That's
Do
just
y'all
a
care
point.
about? But do y'all care about how I feel?
I do. That's why we want you to watch it.
If I
so we can talk about it.
If I take it as being negative, you just gonna skip over that? Like,
But I
it
can't.
ain't?
I can't control that.
No, not
that's
you.
just
I'm
not-
talking about him. He said we don't. Basically, he's saying I don't care about how you feel. It's not negative.
That's not
But
negative.
I'm taking it negative though. I'm
just
taking
made
it
a
negative.
See,
point.
this is where things get
All
personal.
right, man.
So that's like you read a definition in
Nah.
a dictionary,
Nah.
and because you decided to take it this way, then
Yeah.
that's how you're supposed to take it.
That's how you supposed to take it.
Nah, B.
Nah, B.
Nah, B.
Anyway, man, Amber Rose was out here in these streets. Yeah, she was out here in these streets. I'm not gonna say the streets. She was out here on
These
these
Instagram
.coms.
streets.
Yeah, on
Bucket.
these Instagram.
Yeah, yeah.
com-
Bucket naked.
Yeah, she was out here
With that
you
little
know,
boosie fade on that
Yeah,
thing.
she had
Yeah.
that thing. That's why I'm so glad he's here. That thing, she had that thing out. Bottom line,
Breathing. Is out breathing.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, she got that thing out long, but she is trying to spin, I guess, this photograph with the boosie fade into some form of a feminist movement. Now, there is the slut walk thing that she does. I guess she tried to pin it on that and say this is about feminism.
So did she respond with the feminism comments after she put it out for like criticism towards that, or
Yes, because
was
she
it
did
or
a,
was
she
it
did a
from the
post after
or was it
Instagram
from
took
the
it
jump?
down.
No, she that was a rebuttal.
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
the feminism that came as a rebuttal. So we were talking about this prior to going online. I mean, going on air. And here's my thing. I don't know how this pushes. Maybe I will have to be educated. I don't know how this pushes feminism with her being naked. And then you think about the age that we're in now with women that have so much access to online, young girls
Right.
that can just say, hey, I want to do the Amber Rose challenge, and you got 17-year-olds naked on steps, right? Like, I don't know how that is a positive.
Naked on steps.
Naked on steps. I don't know how, hashtag that, naked on steps. But I don't know how that,
Don't hashtag that.
It's probably already a hashtag.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly. We already late.
Shout out to Naked on Steps. But I don't understand how that promotes, you know what I'm saying, feminism. Like I said, I could be wrong. Our women followers, by all means, correct me if you see me on Facebook or whatever. But I'm going to Jay Moore because he brought up a good point about the other examples.
Well, see, the thing is, in I just want women, because, you know, if we're all on Instagram or whatever, you know, there are women who it looks like all they do is go on vacation and go to the club.
Right.
And that's what it is. And that's fine. I'm not taking anything away. If they figured out a way to make that a lifestyle just based on their physical appearance and they're able to do club walkthroughs or whatever, that is fantastic. If you've made a way out of no way,
Right.
I'm not mad at that at all.
Get that paper.
You know, but at the same time, I guess I'm bothered when somehow you automatically tie nakedness to feminism and women's empowerment. And like I said, this is four men in a room talking. So, you know, like
Yes.
if we have female listeners who want to engage us on this, then that's fine. And the thing is, I'm willing, just like I'm willing to have a teachable moment on my own. But you know,
Sure,
you know, when I think about the empowerment of feminism and the things, you know, because you know, if I have, you know, I don't have any daughters, but you know, just younger women that I know in my life.
Yes.
I wouldn't tell them to look to Amber Rose as to be this feminist icon. I'm thinking about Senator Harris from California,
Okay.
who schooled Jeff Sessions today.
Yes.
You know, on CNN. That's a feminist icon. I'm thinking
Right,
about
right.
someone like Angela Rye. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying?
Lord.
I'm telling you, Angela Rye, when she gets on TV and speaks truth to power, you know, that's a feminist icon
Right.
without saying I'm a feminist icon. You know, even when you get out of the political arena and we're talking about, you know, women who work in a male dominated arena, you're talking about the Jamel Hills,
Yes.
Carrie Champions at
Yes.
ESPN, Taylor Rooks, who works at one of the big stations in New York and does sports. These are women who are winning in male-dominated areas. I can just talk about women I know. I can talk about my homegirl Jess, who is a software engineer.
Right.
I can talk about, you know, DJ Gabby Love, who is out here. She's just not a pretty face behind those turntables. She
Right.
will beat your ass on those turntables in the club. And so,
Shout out to Gabby Love. She does all the cool stuff on Instagram. Shout out to her. I always watch her on Instagram. I'm like, dang, she does cool stuff. all the time, and I'm not doing cool stuff.
And these
I'm
are
sorry.
women who are capable, who are dynamic, who are
Yes.
smart.
Yes.
And I've never seen any of them naked. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And
Good point.
they've never felt that, if you want to look, and I just feel like, because these are, like I said, this could be a teachable moment for me. I'm inspired by these women.
Yes.
And if I can be inspired as a man by the women I'm not inspired by Amber Rose being naked. Maybe there's some woman out there who is inspired by that. But if you can't be inspired by, a black female senator or someone, a political commentator,
Right.
or a sports journalist,
Right.
then maybe, you having these women as other women as feminist icons, that's not the problem. Only thing I feel like Amber Rose being naked inspired is other women who don't want to do things that seem as hard as what I just mentioned.
Right.
Malone, jump in here. I know you were going to jump in.
I don't really have
You
anything
weren't.
to say. He pretty
Okay.
much touched on everything. I mean,
it's pretty self-explanatory. In terms of what he just said, what I talked about.
And I'm not taking anything away from
Not at all.
her beauty. I think
Not at all.
I think she's an incredibly beautiful woman.
She's very attractive.
I'm not trying to knock her, but like when you try to put that in the frame of feminism, women have some real struggles that they go through out here, especially when they're working in male-dominated industries.
To me, it's not about. But see, it's bigger. than
And I
her.
don't think you help them at all.
It's bigger than her because I'm looking at
I-
my nieces or little cousins or whatever that can see that and they say, hey, if they, for example, if they're naive, we'll just say if they want to buy into whatever she's saying. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see them trying to duplicate what she did. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know.
I guess there's the angle that what is she doing that is really wrong?
See, the thing
That's
is,
fair.
nothing she's doing is wrong.
That's fair.
If she
It's the
of her-
labels.
if she on her own
I think.
volition wanted to get and to post a naked picture on Instagram, that's fine. I'm not going to take any. But like when you try to make it into something political,
Right. It's the politics.
then I'm like, come on. Like my thing is just be honest, because like I mentioned all those women, but you know what? I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say there aren't women on Instagram that I follow just because
Well, you
they're
better
beautiful.
talk. You better talk that talk.
That's why I follow Shelly Golden. That's why I
Man.
follow Delicious
Drop them
from
names.
Flavor of
We
Love.
see you dropping
I'm not
names.
following her for her political opinion. I'm following her because I think sometimes that brings a little sunshine to my day.
I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you, DJ J Dip. Shout out to Angela Rye because she has both.
Hey, look, like I said, all those women I mentioned who are dynamic and
Yes.
smart and accomplished, those are also beautiful women too. So I'm not going to. You can't. It's not like you can't be both.
Div,
That's true.
You mentioned labels.
Labels, yeah. So there's nothing wrong. Like he's talking about the feminist movement.
Yes.
That's an excellent thing, and he gave excellent examples as far as people that should be the ones you look forward to or look up to
I could dig it.
when that comes to play. I mean, her hashtag on her picture was "Free the Bush."
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
You are
No,
not
you're
wrong.
not wrong.
Okay, so how does that become someone that's leading a feminist movement
Based off that hashtag.
just based off of that?
Okay.
It
That's
was it
fair.
just because Instagram took it down? Because you have girls that are doing all kind of stuff on Instagram all day long and they get their posts taken down, but it wasn't on a feminist act.
Right.
And
They
maybe
knew
we don't
exactly what they were
understand.
doing.
Maybe we don't understand.
And that's the education piece. I'm like, if there's a disconnect, if there's something that I'm missing, I'm on the outside looking in, I'm not educated on it, then by all means, like I said, educate me. I'm looking at this as a novice. I'm like, okay, I don't see this. Maybe there's something I'm missing, but I don't see it. I'm missing the disconnect. She's free to do what she wants, to his point.
Like I said, I can acknowledge it as the Photoshop was on point in that picture. Yeah. Everything was looking
It was a
nice.
nice picture.
She looked very good.
You know, I'm not taking anything away from her beauty
Definitely.
or her hustle because, she's figured out a way to not really get up and go to work. I mean, for her, it's work.
Yeah.
But, like, she's not working. She's figured out a way to be famous with basically not a great deal of talent. And
so
the thing
what-
is, that can happen in America today. So I'm not
Clearly.
knocking that.
What is
Clearly.
the slut walk exactly?
Well, it actually didn't start here in America. Okay,
Okay.
I want to say it was either Australia or New Zealand, and it was about basically women who had been sexually assaulted.
That's it.
And they because there's always this mindset, unfortunately, when they talk about rape culture, it was like, well, what did you do that may have
or what did you have on?
what did you
that
have
type-
on?
yeah.
And like that's not right. Now Amber Rose's slut walk is more about just sexual freedom and women being able to live their lives and not be judged for the choices they make. So, you know, what the slut walk started out as and what it is, Amber Rose's version, I'm sure there are probably some elements of that in her, you know, slut walk, but I'm just saying I know what it started out as, and I know there's been some tweaks to it, if you will, for what Amber Rose is talking about. But, you know, that's what it is. You know, I don't want anyone to think I'm just down in this woman because she took a naked picture.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying?
Because it ain't the first one.
Yeah.
It's just how they describe this last picture that she took.
For you to ascribe a certain level of, to say that's about feminism. I just tell women, you don't have to look to Amber Rose or Wonder Woman, you know, or whatever. Like there are real women out here who you can look to, who you can show your daughters and say, hey, that person, that's you can be that. There's a black woman who was just picked to be an astronaut, and I'm mad at I'm messed up. I don't know her. I don't know her name.
I'm mad. I don't know about her.
Yeah, and so it's like here I am talking about Amber Rose, and there's a black woman going into space.
Hey, well, I'm with it. I think everybody has. You got some loan? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I think what we're doing is called mansplaining.
Mansplaining.
Okay.
Is that what that is?
I think perhaps.
Now, where did you get your source, sir? Is that
social media?
Okay, that's where we get everything. These days, social media.
We'll just rock.
But
we'll just rock with mansplaining.
I pulled up a slut walk is a transnational movement of protest marches calling for an end to rape culture, including victim blaming, slut shaming, and sexual assault victims. Essentially, what you said.
Okay.
So,
right on. Shout out to Jay Moore knowing what was going on with that. So yeah, like I said, these are all things that we just love to talk about, and you know, just throw it out there. I love feedback. So
and ladies, drop us a comment, because if we're completely wrong on this, let us know.
Yes,
let us know. You know, like I said,
give us feedback.
You know, let it be a teachable moment, and we'll actually try to learn something.
Indeed. I want to try to jump into some music here while we still have time.
Okay.
Longevity and I had a chance to visit the Jazz Kitchen on Saturday. And we had a chance to sit down backstage and kick it with the trio from LA called Moonchild. J Diff talked about them last week, and I didn't get a chance to soak it up until I actually heard the album. I'm a huge fan of them now. Shout out to the signed album cover.
Okay, that's
the
a little
Wax.
bit. That's stunning a little bit.
He's
I like that though.
He's stunned. He's stunned, but that is Wax. He got a sign. We got a chance to hang out with them for, what do you say, maybe 2 or 3 couple hours or so in the back, give or take.
Off and on. We hung out about an hour. About
an hour or so.
Yeah, give or take, and then we went back for a little while.
Yeah, and they are. I'll tell you what. I'm rarely impressed, and I'm not saying that being perched on some mountain or something, saying that I'm all that. I'm just going off what I see in terms of musicianship and skill.
Yeah,
I'm rarely impressed, but I was thoroughly impressed with them as a trio.
Oh yeah,
because
multiple instruments.
I mean, yeah. And the fact that we got a chance to talk to them and see how passionate and genuine they are about what they do.
Just humble.
They're very, very humble. I was blown away. The album is incredible. I hear, like I was telling a young lady that's the lead singer, I hear Erykah Badu, I hear D'Angelo, I hear Dilla. You know what I'm saying? Like I hear Neo Soul, I hear Jill Scott. Jill Scott is somebody that actually shouted them out. Like they've toured with Stevie Wonder.
Wow.
Like they are legit. And I was very, very blown away by their performance, the musicianship, the craftsmanship, the attention to detail. I told him in the interview that we did with them, I'm officially a fan.
I missed it.
I'm rocking with them. I'm rocking with Moonchild.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amber's the lead singer.
Yes.
But she also played tenor sax,
flute as well.
Yeah, flute as well. Max, he played keys, but he also had the alto sax out.
Yes.
And Andres had he pulled out a trumpet, was also playing keys.
Yes.
And it was just, their setup was just 2 keyboard, and then they would just pull their horns out and play in different moments. And
I forgot the young band's name that played the drums. I have to look. I'm following him on Instagram as well. I'm sorry, Effa. Is that his name?
Yeah.
He was a beast on the drums. He had the drum machine, drum pads as well. So across the board, I would really, really suggest that our listeners take a listen to Moonchild, because
links on bringing down the band, by the way.
Yes, sir.
Sure is.
Talk that talk.
Talk about a good plug. You
yes,
caught
indeed.
his plug right there.
I like that. Yeah, that's what it is.
Minus the violence. It's my brother right here. You know what I'm saying? Minus the violence.
I say no to violence.
And they got some of those No Bad Idea hats as well.
They did. They got stickers and buttons as well. They got new old head stickers and buttons.
Here rapping.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, shout out to Moonchild. We had a great time with them. I am following them from here on out. I hope they come back I hope they come close to the Midwest again.
Yeah.
I do
sure.
too, so I can
Yeah.
actually see the show.
Yeah, they are
I
dope.
was at the class reunion during that.
Yeah, we saw you out there playing kickball in them streets.
Oh man,
You know what I'm saying? The ball
I was getting busy.
the ball didn't lead the infield though, low key.
I'm still kind of sore though from that game.
Oh, okay.
A little bit, yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. We appreciate your effort, though. I'm sure your team did. Even though the ball didn't lead the infield, it's still dope, though. He said,
He's a bitch.
yeah.
I'm actually down to start either a kickball league or a softball league.
I'd be
Well, you
down
know.
for softball.
Who's ever wanting to
Hey,
play
whoever wants to
and
challenge the new
be
old heads
involved with
in
that.
softball, we throwing it out there now. We
I'm
got
not doing kickball, man.
we got
I'm
Jay
horrible.
Moore on
I feel
the
like
team.
you. I feel like you can. Which one is better if you just want to still go out and drink? I feel like
Probably
kickball.
softball,
softball,
probably softball, though.
and beer kind of goes together because
Yeah.
the ball doesn't move that
Yeah.
fast and it comes. Yeah. Okay.
So if we go throw it out there, we got the new old head squad. We 4 deep right here. Throw in Spoolz, and then we can just pick up. You know what I'm saying? Whoever we need to fill the roster out.
get some affiliates
If
to
you-
jump in here.
If y'all want to talk that talk and accept that challenge, we'll see you. You know what I'm saying? We'll see you.
I can get your uniforms together too.
Printed by who?
Printfinity.
Boy, that boy is on it
Man,
today.
I
by
tell you
man.
what.
Lord have mercy. He out there getting that paper. He don't know how to act. All right. We proud of you though, bruh.
Okay,
You know,
appreciate it.
hey, you know what you out there getting, right?
I ain't getting it yet, but I know what you talking about.
Out there getting that
Getting that-
paper.
yeah.
Getting that paper. Anyway, moving on.
Music, more music.
More music. Shout out to North Memphis. Yeezy.
Oh God.
Yeezy. He dropped some classic material that all the Yeezy worshipers will love the snippets of.
Will they?
Yes, they will.
It's gone now.
But Yeezy lovers.
Somebody got it.
Yeezy
If it
lovers
was
will
out there,
go
somebody
to.
got it.
They will go to the depths to honor him. I don't care what he does. But I'm just gonna throw a couple bars out there. See if I can keep these edited. He said, "I be acting like I'm white. Expletive, white expletives is what he does."
Fill in the blank. Choose your own
Yeah,
adventure.
yeah.
He says, "I be sniffing Miley Cyrus with Miley Cyrus."
Oh, is that a reference?
Perhaps.
Well, since you called it out, you're gonna have to beep it.
Right.
Depending on how they want to take it. So yeah, I dropped the ball now.
I mean,
We
but
trying to get
Miley
better.
Cyrus.
Yeah, it's Miley Cyrus. It's a metaphor, brother.
The one we don't rock
Would that
with.
would that
Yeah.
count?
We
Would
talking
that
about
count?
that white girl.
Oh yeah.
But we
yeah,
didn't say
yeah.
that though. We said Miley Cyrus. Would that count?
I don't think so.
We're gonna go with that not count.
Okay, we'll have to get with standards and practices and see
Yeah,
what's
I know.
good.
We're gonna go with that one not
I
count.
mean, they play the songs on the radio anyway.
yeah. So we're gonna go with that not
Yeah,
counting. So I'm still
yeah.
safe.
But then again, white girl is still slaying.
for
Yes.
that. You know,
Hey.
I mean, we already been on so far and said that Jay Moore already said that thing. So we'll reference.
that's
what is
that's
what is
very
that? That could be
abstract.
anything.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
could be anything.
Anything.
Maybe I'm hating on
That
Jay Moore.
thing,
I
yeah,
apologize,
yeah. Like
brother.
I said, man, I know what I'm doing out here. Come on, brother.
You're right. You're right. I apologize.
People probably still don't know what we're talking about.
Exactly.
But yeah, man.
So keep on with Yeezy. So he got the, what is it, like 3 songs?
Yeah, man. They had Migos on a couple records.
Mama.
Yeah. Mama. And he basically sounded like them. Like blatantly sounded like them on the snippets that I heard. They didn't hold my attention. I thought they were trash. Jay Moore made a very valid point. I'm not gonna take the man's time. Tell them what you told me about what Kanye was with his approach to music.
Well, see, this is the thing, and this is and we didn't actually break it down like this,
This is
but
a very good point, though.
like Kanye used to be that trailblazer. Like I thought, you know, if you're going to talk, if we're going, I'm getting nerdy with it real quick. I
Okay.
thought he was going to be the one to bring balance to the force.
Look out now.
And come to find out, he's actually the one that's bringing the Sith back to the game with a lot of the stuff that he's been doing
he's
lately.
Anakin.
He
Yeah.
out here looking more like Jar Jar Binks. though.
Oh,
Wow,
man.
I see you with the reference.
But like
J. Diff.
and the thing is, like sometimes I'll hear songs because you know a lot of times we listen to songs either on our phone or our computer.
Yes.
And it's different listening to it that way as opposed to a $10,000 sound system when you're at a club. Now everybody knows like I'm out in these clubs, so I see how things move. And Lemmy Vice played the joint with the Migos. Shout out to Lemmy Vice. He's got the new project Rogue, so shout out to him. I got to shout that out.
Nice. We see you. We see you.
And he played it, you know, because of course it leaked last week. So he's like, okay, I got it before it shut down. Hit the leak, and I saw it basically make the entire club just stopped. They were like, even as a Migos song, they couldn't get with it.
And this is the Yeezy record.
This is
just so everybody knows. This is the Yeezy record
featuring the Migos. And
Yes.
if you're out in the club, you know that basically everything the Migos have touched in the last 6 to 9 months is basically turns not just to gold but to platinum.
Yes.
That's
and
all.
people don't even have to know the record, but if they hear the Migos, they're with it.
Yes.
But they heard this song and were like, no. I mean, and the thing is, I thought the content was just so horrible as far as what he was rapping about. I'm like, you know, we talk about Kanye being in the sunken place, but like sometimes I'm like, man, you can't be this far gone.
Shout out to Jay Diff. He did say he was in that sunken place.
The same
The
dude who wrote
Kardashians got him.
the same dude who wrote Spaceships, talking about I be acting like I'm white, and I can't really go into the lyrics because, like I said, but they're not clever.
Right.
It's not good.
Then he was rocking a Robert Townsend joint with the Meteor Man.
Hair.
With the hair,
With the hair.
yeah, the Golden Lords. Like
yeah,
it's
the
just
Golden Lords. People have phases. I get
and
it,
it's
but-
just so hard because like Kanye, at least for me, we used to be. I didn't have to hear a day one purchase.
yeah.
And now when Kanye, I'd be like, oh, I got to hear it first.
Kanye
Then
was
maybe I'll
Kanye was
get
an
with it.
instant cop. Kanye
Yeah.
was an instant cop.
It's crazy because the attitude that he's kind of portraying right now kind of makes sense as to why some labels didn't rock with him back in the day when he was trying to be a rapper.
Expand
It's
on
like,
that a little bit.
all right, so he had to really prove himself to be this rapper producer back in the day to get this deal.
Yep.
He was producing tracks for Benny Siegel,
Yep.
Scarface. Who else had?
He did Ghost production too. D Dot.
Yeah.
He did a lot of stuff early.
But he
on.
was shopping for this record deal
Right.
that he couldn't get.
He's Slum Village, Dilated People.
Right.
Nobody took him serious as an
They-
MC.
But he was hungry, and
Right.
you could tell on the College Dropout, on late registration,
Right.
graduation,
Right.
808 and Heartbreaks, and then
My beautiful,
Dark Twisted
Fantasy.
Fantasy. Those 5 are straight dope albums from Kanye West.
I agree.
The other ones, it's like he started getting comfortable with himself. So he was like, "Oh, can't nobody tell me nothing now.
they'll
I
listen
mean,
to whatever I have
I
to
can say whatever I want." Even the song on the last album that I like really well, that goes
Pablo.
on Pablo. The lyrics on there are trash though.
Oh, you talking about Father Stretch My Hands?
Man, his
The beat
lyrics
is
are
cold.
terrible.
But the thing is, you listen to the lyrical content, you're like, really, man? Like,
Yeah.
Like I said, we got to keep it clean. But I was like, there's a line in there, and I'm like,
The bleach line.
yeah, the bleach line.
To this
Yeah.
day is probably, and I stand on this. The bleach line in a ratio to a dope beat with a dope artist
'Cause that
versus
beat
a
is
whack
cold.
versus the beat is cold versus a whack bar. That's arguably one of the wackest bars I've ever heard
Come on,
on
man,
a
you
record
did-
that had potential to be dope.
You
That
did-
bar was
you did
terrible.
crack music.
Yeah,
you did
man.
Hey
Yeah.
Mama.
Yeah, you did.
You did Big Brother. What is this?
Yeah.
I don't know. Even No More Parties in LA made you think that Pablo
Yeah.
was gonna be
But that was old too.
something
Yeah.
different.
Man,
Yeah.
shout out
That was
to Mad,
old.
shout out to Madlib. He got me on that one though.
But that
When
was
I-
like 2010, 11 when he
I
made
didn't
that
know
track.
that though. When I heard, I was like,
I
okay,
didn't
there.
know that either.
The first thing I thought about when I heard No Parties in LA was No More Parties in LA was okay. I was like, there he is.
So
There
this
he
song,
is.
It was a glimmer.
have you guys seen the Stones Throw Our Vinyl Weighs a Ton documentary? There's an interview on there where Kanye talks about Madlib and Dilla a little bit.
Okay.
And he raps those lyrics
Okay. So that is old.
way back. You know,
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
It actually makes
I
more
gotta go back
sense
and
now that you
revisit
say
that.
it. Now it makes more sense now that you say it because that's a focused yay on those bars.
it's like almost My Dark Twisted Fantasy
When he
Kanye
started,
around
that makes
that
even
time.
more sense because
Yeah.
he started talking about he took the Cam reference. I know his daughter was born, but he said Nori wearing pink like Cam. I believe was one of the bars on there. I mean, I thought he snapped. That's why, like I told Dip, I was like, there he is. There's
Yeah,
Kanye.
there he was.
There he was.
It was just a
there's the
glimmer. You know,
dropout.
every once in a while, just like even on what's the Sunken Place movie?
Get
Get
out.
Out.
Get Out. Remember when the camera flashed and dude came back for a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get up out of here.
yeah.
Maybe somebody snapped the camera. Kanye came back for a second, caught that glimmer.
We're right back to the sunken place.
Back to the Sunken Place.
When you realize that he's just been there.
Well, I think also it's like, who's he trying to impress now? Because at one point he was trying to impress Jay-Z, Cameron,
Well, he thinks
Ghostface
he's that
Killer,
dude now.
He
Beanie
thinks he's that
Siegel.
dude now. It doesn't matter.
He's trying to impress that caliber of rapper. Now he's trying to impress Quavo. Nothing against Quavo, because Quavo's out here
Hey,
getting
get
it.
them checks,
But
Quavo.
as
Yeah,
far
get
as
them checks.
as far as being in the realm, as far as lyrical and complexity of the people I mentioned,
Yeah.
nah.
I hate even saying it because we kind of talked about this during the beat battle, to kind of lead into that.
Yep.
About Kanye. Me and you were talking about how there is no getting that old Kanye back.
No.
You might as well just
I gave
give
that
it
up.
up.
Yeah, I gave that up.
As much as
Appreciate
I
what
like
we got
Kanye,
when we had it.
Yeah, as much as I like Kanye and hope that I'm going to hear that old Kanye, it's
I
not
stopped.
going to happen.
I stopped a long time ago.
Straight from
We're
the
going to
goat
hear.
Kanye.
We will hear another Jay-Z blueprint before you will hear another Kanye.
Is that what that 444 thing is? No, that was
I'm
Tidal.
not sure.
They say
Yeah.
there's
What's
rumors
Tidal?
saying that it's something about Jay dropping an album, possibly and linked to Tidal and all that. I don't know. Like, I don't even know how hype I would be to hear a Jay album at this point.
I mean,
But
I'm
I
looking
would-
for a Jay
I
album.
would hear it, but I'd rather-
I'm always willing
Nah.
to
As
hear
long
a
as
Jay
he doesn't
album.
have Quavo featured and he's got Metro,
Right.
and nothing against Metro Boomin. That's the homie.
But
St.
not with
Louis is
Hov.
in the building
Not
with
with
that.
Hov.
But I don't want to hear him no Metro Boomin beats with.
I am
with Jay-Z.
excited about. Nas said he's close.
Man, I was
I'm
just about
very
to say
excited
I'm
about
mad
that.
because Nas dropped that Nas album Done last year. It's been over
Yeah,
a
it's
year.
been a minute.
But he snapped on that, which
Snapped on it.
got me even more hype, and then he didn't drop the album.
Didn't drop an album.
So Nas, man, stop playing with us, man. We need that album.
We don't need no Jay Electrica type emotions being put out there in
No.
the universe.
No, we don't need that.
I don't. On Nas's album, I don't need,
Said I didn't
and this is no knock now. Like, I'm to Jay
You
Moore's
said
point.
Electrica.
Did he?
Look,
Hey, can
we
you
forget,
edit,
you
we
know-
forget how to pronounce
yeah.
his name because we don't
He's
put
not
out no
relevant
can you
anymore.
edit that for me? His Jay Electrica. I
always,
need that later.
You always want
Want
something
me to
as a
do an overdub?
ringtone.
I'll do the overdub.
Yeah, and then I need it as a ringtone.
Yeah, you just need that because of the little flub you had last week. Right?
Oh,
Well, you don't even remember what it was.
It's on tape.
yeah.
Nah, it's on tape.
Yeah, it's-
You're right. I don't
Comparable.
need. I don't need. Yeah, that's what it was. Yo, why you always remember? Anyway,
He listens to it over and over before he
does.
puts it up.
He
Yeah,
does. I don't know if I want Mike Will Made It on Nas album, and that's no knock to Mike Will Made
I
It.
know because Mike Will got off on the Kendrick album though.
Yeah, but I don't know if I want
Kinda.
that on Nas album, though, man.
But
I
still
don't
Kendrick
know.
in my eyes is still one of the young boys.
Yeah.
He
So
is.
it makes sense. Like
Humble
know,
was cold though.
How old is
Humble was
Kendrick?
cold.
28, 29?
27-ish, 28.
Yeah.
Not
you know.
42.
He's
yeah,
not 42.
Exactly. So
I mean, it's cool.
but you never know. It might push Mike Will into doing something. There are things that maybe he's done that these other rappers will turn down, and Nas will be. But
Mike Will got some heat though.
yeah, that
to
might
his
say something
credit.
about Nas's beat selection though. Too.
I want to get local.
He'll just take anything.
Yeah,
I wa-
let's not go there.
Don't do
Let's
that,
not go
'cause
there.
You hate Nas.
Yeah,
Don't do
okay.
that.
You just
And
fed him a
Bismarcky.
Scooby snack when you said that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's on me. That's on me.
I give me some on that. He hate Nas and Biz Marquis' brand, but we'll do that in another episode. Shout out to my homie. I want to get local real quick before we get out of here. Shout out to my homie Dylan Prevails.
Yeah.
He is a 2-time Jay Brookings beat battle champion. He defended his crown. I was judging the championship there, and he did what Dylan do, if you will.
He's an avid
Yeah.
listener as
Yeah.
well.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Dylan Prevails. He does listen. He
Making
told me that.
bangers every day.
Yeah, man. Dylan is consistent. That's the one thing I can say about him. He knows what he does. He knows what he does well, and he consistently does that well, if that makes sense.
No, definitely.
That's all you
know
got
what
to
I'm
do,
saying?
though.
And that's all you have to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He
I
at
was
least
imp-
he recognizes that.
Yeah.
Because there's some people that are all over the place
True.
and don't know what their niche is.
Yeah,
Or where they can shine at.
Everybody can't do all over the place.
Nah.
So Dylan Prevails knows what he does well, and he's a beast at that.
He is versatile. Don't get it
but
twisted.
Nah, he is.
No, I'm not saying
But
he's not. but
he still puts his own spin on
Yes.
everything he
Yes.
does.
Definitely. You know it's
Which-
a Dylan Prevails.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's not like you're like, oh, who did this? Like now I've heard, someone who's judged all these competitions. I'll
Right.
be like, okay, it's not like, I don't want to say it's not, I'm surprised, but he has a style, and that's something that a lot of
Yeah.
producers don't know how to do,
Right.
is establish their own style.
They're scared. A lot of people
Or
are
they're
scared.
mimicking everything else.
Right,
Yes,
right.
Yeah, so I give him credit for that. Shout out to my homie Dylan Prevails. Do we have anything? I know we got the build coming up Thursday when the
Yeah, the
episode
build
drops,
is
right?
Thursday night. Yep, tonight from 6:30 to 8:30.
Okay.
I don't think Diop will be in the building. Shouts to Diop.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Shout out to him and Mad Dog.
Yeah,
We
they
see
was
y'all,
out
man,
in
dog.
Brooklyn.
We see
kicking it.
y'all.
With Spike
Spike
Lee, that was a good
Lee,
look
yeah.
for the city,
We
man.
see y'all out in Crooklyn. That's what's
So
up.
yeah,
Definitely.
station I will be holding it down. But yeah, come through. It's from 6:30 to 8:30.
Okay.
Yeah, the topic this week is brand building
Okay.
and
You got any slides about Biz Marquee?
collaboration. I mean, maybe.
Okay.
You have to
He
come
got
to find out.
slides.
Yeah, just, I don't know if it's PowerPoint.
But yeah, it's a good
slides.
networking event. So
Word.
community building.
Cut Camp is they got a show in Columbus on Friday night, I believe you said. Is that right?
Yeah.
We do.
Okay. I might tag along again, carry some crates or something.
Carry some
You
crates.
know what I'm saying? Yeah.
We might have to take a time machine for that.
Well, you know, I can carry the. You have to laugh that hard, bro.
I'm sorry, but I see what he did there, and I had to give him his props.
I mean,
And also,
don't the.
Friday night, there's also. Are you can continue?
You gotta-
Nah, I will do that later.
There's
Go
still
ahead.
things to carry. You
Yeah,
can carry
okay.
something.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So also the dojo is at GPC on Friday, I believe.
Okay. Okay.
Poindexter Q, I believe Willis and somebody else.
Nice.
B.O.B. is in town as well, I believe at the Vogue.
Okay. Shout out to
Alright.
B.O.B.
The Earth is flat. B.O.B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I
Here
wonder
we
if the
go.
Earth is flat. B.O.B. is different from B.O.B.
Probably not.
Nah.
Probably.
Depends on who's cutting that check.
Yeah. He's an ATLian though, so
You
He
just
is.
never know.
you know we appreciate that. Now, did I miss anything in terms of anybody having anything else? If you got anything, do we
I
have?
got-
We need local music or?
Well, I have
We got
some-
any more radio stuff that I missed in terms of the website?
Well, we didn't talk about some new releases. Brockhampton put out Saturation.
Okay.
They're a collaborative crew from South Central LA.
Okay.
It's a pretty good project, man. I like them kids, man. They make a lot of variety.
I like variety.
And they're very, a lot of variety. They dropped that today, just today, which is Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Amano Mari and Anna Wise dropped a single called "Move Too Fast."
Shout out to Anna Wise. We
I know
see-
that's heat. I haven't even
Oh
heard
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's quite spectacular if you know those two artists. De La Soul dropped a video with Little Dragon for "Drawn" off
I
there.
bet that's cold.
It's a very nice video. Other than that, just a lot of. There's been a lot of singles that have dropped. Killer Mike and Big Boy and Young Jeezy dropped his song off Big Boy's upcoming one. Dizzy Wright dropped a couple singles that are dope.
The South sticks together so much.
Don't they?
Shout
Yeah,
out to
man.
them. The South sticks together so
yeah,
much.
they do. Who else we got over here?
There is another event this week as well.
What's that?
Today is the event with Styles P, Ciroc.
Nice.
Friday.
Friday.
Was Friday, Thursday and Friday, right?
thought it was Friday
Or is it
and
Friday
Saturday.
and Saturday? You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday. Okay.
Yeah, Friday's the I believe the kind of lecture.
Yep.
And then the next day is the dinner.
So P will be speaking
Oh, I see.
on the lecture portion. Is that right? Did I get that
I'm
right?
not sure how it's actually structured.
Okay.
Because I know he's going to be at both, so I imagine he's probably going to speak at both
Panel.
events.
Okay.
Yeah, him and Ciroc. But yeah, that's going down. I believe Evan, stylistic, he's a part of that as well.
So
definitely.
will a representative from Ciroc be talking, or will Ciroc be talking?
Again,
It's not Ciroc. It's an artist named Ciroc.
Yeah. No, we're not.
No,
That's
well, what-
hands. Like,
No,
okay.
no. I see what you did there. Go ahead, man.
I'm not sure exactly. Like
What
I
just
had just said that. So.
All right, man. What? Anything else, Lone, that I missed that you got?
There's one song that dropped last week that was one of my favorites.
Okay.
You guys familiar with Masego?
Yeah.
I can't say that I am. I'll be honest.
He dropped a song called Navajo.
Okay.
It is cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dope.
Where can they find that?
BringingDownTheBand.com. But also BringingDownTheBand.com/turn off your radio.
Okay.
So we're on 102.
Shout out to Turn Off Your Radio episode 102.
Shouts to Audio Back. I'm supposed to talk with them about exclusively doing some stuff.
Exclusive.
Look out now.
DJ Clue.
Jay Moore, we got anything as we wrap up? You got anything popping?
Of course. Well, tonight is Thursday, so I'm going to be at Tiki Bob's with DJ Lemmy Vice,
Okay.
Action Jackson, and DJ Gabby Love.
Okay.
And I can't forget, don't know when I'm going to be back. So June 24th, I'm going to be at the Vogue for the Michael Jackson Prince Icon Live with DJ
Hey.
Metronome, Action Jackson, and DJ Limelight.
That's always hot too.
Nice, nice. I believe that is going to conclude episode number 33 for the New Old Heads podcast. Jay Moore, pinch hitting, longevity, DJ J Diff, bringing down the band.com, No Bad Ideas, Coleman Dental, and Printfinity. We are the New Old Heads. Shout out to the hat.
NBI, No Bad Ideas Spades.
It did not
Yes,
get
indeed.
thrown this episode.
And be sure you guys subscribe. We got buttons and stickers
shirts.
and buttons and shirts and all that stuff.
Check out our Patreon. Patreon.com/newoldheads.
Word.
And we'll see you next Thursday. Peace.
Peace.